Good day, everyone. Good day, class. This is a continuation of a topic of hyperinflationary economy. As I said that we will discuss some small problems about this hyperinflationary economy. Okay. All right. Before we go to the problems, let us review first the procedures of on how to restate the financial statements or the financial statement amounts, the balance sheet amount, the income statement amount, or the non-monetary assets, monetary items, and the nominal accounts. Okay, let us review first the table that we discussed this in my prior video lecture. Okay, we have here monetary items, non-monetary items, and nominal accounts. So what are those monetary items that we need to restate and not to be restated? So as AS 29 dictates that the current year balance of monetary items should not be restated. Right? What we need to restate is the prior year balance. And the non-monetary items, we have here need not to restate if the NRV or fair value measured at reporting date, no need to restate. And what we need to restate is the recorded at cost or the NRV or fair value measured on dates other than reporting date. So on the nominal accounts, all nominal accounts should be restated, right? So the formula is very basic. When we restate, we have a fraction. So all monetary items and non-monetary items, nominal accounts, we have the same numerator as the current GPI or the reporting date GPI or the GPI reporting date. What differ is the denominator. So what would be the denominator if for monetary items? So for monetary items, we have the GPI on reporting date. The monetary items balance was reported. That's for the monetary item. How about for non-monetary items? So we have here GPI at transaction date. Okay, that's the first priority. If ever hindi given yung transaction date, so we need to get the average rate for practical purpose only. So again, first priority is transaction date. If not given, use the average. So madali lang mag-compute ng average. It's a simple average. Add mo lang yung prior years at current years. Or depende ano yung inclusion, yung range ng years niya. I-divide mo lang sa number of years. Example, current at previous years, divide by 2. That's the average. All right. So we'll go now to the sample problem, small problems. Right. So first problem we have here, certain balance sheet accounts in a foreign subsidiary of Tether Company of December 31, 2011 in terms of US dollars. So we have here account receivable current, account receivable long-term, prepaid interest, building expressed in dollars with $10,000, $50,000, $5,000, $50,000. In here, we have additional information. We have the general price index. So this is necessary for our computation of restatement. The exchange rate for every one US dollar, or the peso exchange rate. For 2008, we have 100 in the GPI. January 1, 2011, we have 150 GPI. And average price index for 2011 is 400. And the average rate for the year for the exchange rate is 53. While on the GPI as of December 31, 2011 is 425. Now, what total should be included in Peter's balance sheet at December 31, 2011 for the above items if the subsidiary's functional currency is the currency of hyperinflationary economy? Nakalagay if the subsidiary daw is under the hyperinflation economy. So remember yung mga indicators na if that under the hyperinflationary economy. So one indicator is yung cumulative. So madali lang yung cumulative kasi mako-compute natin yan. So in here, paano natin ma-identify if there's exceed 100% cumulative inflation? Paano natin ma-identify? So just take a look the general price index. So from 2008, we have 100, and then the December 31, 2011 is 425, the general price index. There's a huge increase of inflation of the general price index. So in here, how to compute if we really exceed on the 100% over the 3 years, so 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, over 3 years. So simply, we have to get the difference between the December 31, 2011 price index, which is the 425, less natin yung 2008 na price index. So the increase is 325. So to get the percentage, let's divide that to the base, which is the 2008 price index, 100. So in here, there's a cumulative inflation of 325%. So more than 100%. It even exceeds 100% cumulative. So in here, there is an hyperinflationary. So the company should restate their financial statement. So the questions: how much the balance sheet? How much should be included in the debtor's balance sheet? So here's the computation, right? So under PAS number 29 state that hyperinflationary is indicated by characteristics of the economic environment of a country which include a cumulative inflation rate over 3 years is approaching or exceeds 100%. So yun, kinumpute natin kanina. From 100, naging 425 na 2011. So there's 325, the difference. So to get the percentage over by 100, that is 325%, which exceeds the 100%. All right. So the problem indicates that there's hyperinflationary. Right. So further, PAS number 29, paragraph 15 states that most non-monetary items are carried at cost or cost less depreciation. Hence, they are expressed at amount current at their acquisition. The restated cost or cost less accumulated depreciation of each item is determined by applying to its historical cost and accumulated depreciation. So sa problem given doon is the building net na siya na accumulated depreciation. So pwede rin ito automatic i-restate na natin yung amount. But if given the historical cost and the accumulated depreciation, each historical cost and accumulated depreciation should be restated. So here's the computation. We have here the account receivable current, account receivable long-term, prepaid interest, and building acquired in 2018. So how did we get the converted to peso value, or how we restate the each item? So first, account receivable. Why we did not restate account receivable? Account receivable is a monetary items. Sabi nga doon sa table natin na ni-review natin is hindi na i-restate yung monetary items of the current year balance. So no need na. So what we need to do is to just multiply to its current exchange rate or the closing exchange rate as of that balance sheet date, which is the 55 per peso versus $1. So 55. So yung converted peso amount na. Then same with account receivable long term. This is receivable in a fixed and determinable amount. So meaning considered as monetary items. So no need to restate. Same with prepaid interest. Nakalagay doon sa table natin. Si prepaid interest, part siya sa monetary items. And then monetary items of the current balance need not be restated. So automatically, let's just multiply it to the closing exchange rate. Now, here in the building, so net na siya. Walang accumulated depreciation. It should be historical cost, then the accumulated depreciation, i-restate natin, then the difference, yun yung net. But here in the given problem, so automatic building talagay na. So $50,000. So why we use the 425? Nga, going back dun sa formula natin sa table, non-monetary items, ang numerator niya is the current GPI rate. So 425 is the current GPI rate. December 31, 2011. Right? So, balikan natin yung problem. Right? Kita nyo? December 31, 2011, the current GPI rate is 425. Right? So, the numerator, that's 425. And the denominator here is 100. Bakit 100? Kasi nga, si building is acquired on 2008. Diba nakalagay doon? Balikan natin yung table ulit, ha? Right. The denominator of a non-monetary asset is the GPI at transaction date. So, ano yung transaction date is 2008 siya. Binili yung building. So, what is the GPI of 2008 is 100. So that's why our denominator here is 100. And then, excuse me, multiply to 55 exchange rate. So we come up with 11,687,500. So we sum it up all 550, 825, 275, and 11,697,500 million, come up with 13,337,500, which is the total asset to be included in Peter's balance sheet. All right, so remember class, pag monetary items, current year balance need not to be restated. What we need to restate is the prior year balance. Pag non-monetary items, i-restate yung, example, yung building natin, yung land natin, i-restate based on sa, ang numerator natin is what? The current GPI rate. And the current GPI over yung transaction GPI date niya, the GPI of the transaction date. If given, if not given, use the average. Right? Okay, so next problem. Vince company operates in hyperinflationary economy. So sinabi na, hyperinflationary economy siya. Its balance sheet at December 31, 2011 as follows. So we have here property, plant, equipment, under Bath, foreign currency, inventory, cash, share capital, retained earnings, non-current liabilities, and current liabilities. So we have also given here the current price index. We have 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, and 2011. So given. So we have additional information here. The PPE was the property plant equipment was purchased on December 31, 2009. Take note. Kasi kailangan natin yan as the denominator of the property plant equipment when we restate that the amount of the property plant equipment. And there is a 6 months inventory held. So nakalagay 6 months inventory held sa inventory naman natin. The non-current liabilities were a loan raised on March 31, 2011. So meron din nakalagay 2011 March. So, question. The total assets after adjusting for hyperinflationary should be. So, kukompute natin. Ano yung i-restate natin. Ano yung mga dapat natin i-restate? Ano yung i-continue na amount? Alright? So, here, for the first question, the total assets after adjusting for hyperinflation should be, so total assets, kukumplit natin yung property, plant, equipment. We have 900 times, of course, yung numerator natin is the current GPI. Alright. Anong current GPI? 2011, yung reporting date. So, reporting date is 2011, the current is 300. So, we use the 300 over 150. Why? Because kailan na, excuse me, kailan na-acquire si property, plant, equipment? Sa problem nakalagay is December 31, 2009. So, the GPI rate of December 29, 2009 is 150. So, yan yung denominator natin. Okay? So, kailangan hanapin natin yung average kasi given yung transaction date niya, GPI. Inventory, y 27 times 300 divided by 270. Wala tayong problema sa numerator kasi pareho lang yan sila ng numerator, di ba? Sa denominator tayo magkatalo. 270, why 270? Kasi nakalagay doon, inventories held is 6 months. Okay, so mayroon yang hindi sinabi doon anong yung transaction date inventory. So in that case, we use the average. So why we only use the 2,000, the 240, and the 300 as average? Kasi nga, diba yung inventory natin, we have inventory beginning and then the inventory end. So beginning is yung sa prior years. So malamang yung prior years natin is yung 2010. Then the 2011. Simply, the simple average is 240 plus the 300 over 2 years. So we get the average of what? 270. That's why ang denominator natin sa inventory is 270. So come up with the 3,000. And the foreign currency pa to. How about the cash? Yes, again, cash is a monetary items. If that balance is for that year, balances did not be restricted. So we copy it, 350. All in all, we have 5,150 total assets. That's our answer. Another questions. Determine the retained earnings on December 31, 2011. So retained earnings of 2011. Okay, so here, we have the share capital of 400 times. Sabi natin, same lang yung numerator, 300 over 100. Kailan ni-acquire si shares capital? 2008. So we use the GPI of 2008. Then, non-current liabilities. Okay, if items receivable or paid in a fixed or determinable amount, consider as monetary items. So non-current liabilities is a determinable amount and a fixed or determinable amount considered as monetary items. So need not be restricted. Same with current liabilities, 700. So di na natin kailangan i-restrict yan. Kasi yung current year balance na yan siya. So, di ba we already computed the total liability, the total assets. So in balance sheet, we have total asset is equal to total liability sa capital. So same, i-copy na lang natin yung sa total asset natin kasi na-compute na natin yung total assets. So since we have share capital and we have non-current liabilities of 500 and current liabilities of 700, what's lacking to come up with the 5,150? So again, si retained earnings is hindi natin neither restate. It's neither monetary items or non-monetary nor monetary items. So hindi natin i-restate, but it's a balancing figure. Take note, class. It's a balancing figure. So what's lacking is the retained earnings. So the balancing figure is 2,750 retained earnings. So this under the foreign currency pa na amount. So in the third question, we're asked to determine the retained earnings on December 31, 2020, assuming the following exchange rate as of year end is 2007 is 1.20, 2008 1.24, 2009 1.27, 2010 1.50, and 2011 is 1.75. So in here, ano yung gagamitin natin na exchange rate? Of course, yun yung closing or current exchange rate on the reporting date. Ano yung reporting date natin is 2011. So gagamitin natin yung 1.75. So since na-compute na natin si share capital, multiply na lang natin sa 1.75. And then na-compute na rin natin si non-current liabilities and as well as current liabilities. So we'll have just to multiply it to 1.75 to come up with 2,100 for the share capital. For non-current liabilities, 875 and 125, 1,155 for the current liabilities. And for the total assets, na compute na natin kanina, we have 5,150 multiplied by 1.75. We have the total liabilities and equity, which is equal to total assets of 9,012.50. So what lacking? Diba? Again, si retained earning is a balancing figure. Ano yung nandito? Of course, si retained earnings. Yun na yung retained earnings natin as a balancing figure as of December 31, 2011 using the exchange rate of 1.70. All right. So again, retained earnings is neither a monetary items nor a non-monetary items. It is a balancing figure when we restate the total assets and the total liabilities and other shareholders or the equity items, right? So same computation if we direct it to, since na-compute na natin the prior questions na na-compute na natin yung retained earnings, pwede rin na multiply na natin kaagad yung 2,750 multiply by 1.75 na exchange rate, which is same equal to the balancing figure. Ito yung pinakamadali class. If na-compute mo na yung yung sa underbath na foreign currency na na retained earnings, yung na-restate natin na balancing figure kanina sa pangalawang question, then multiply mo na kaagad dun sa exchange rate. Or pwede din ganito na computation. Mag-go over ka talaga. I-restate mo, multiply mo sa exchange rate, i-restate mo yung kailangan i-restate. Mostly mga non-monetary items. Then, after the balance of total equity and liabilities, yun na yung balancing figure mo. Yun na yung retained earnings natin. Alright? So, balik-balikan nyo lang yung sample problems natin in class. So, dyan na yung pabalik-balik yung natin, mga problems. Balik-balik yung concept, same na yung concept, yung principles, yung table natin, yung formula natin. I-apply nyo na lang sa mga ibang problems. Then, I suggest, answer niyo yung book, yung comprehensive problem sa book ni Zeus Milan. Okay. Mahalaga yan para masanay yung mind nyo kung how to restate the amount in the financial statement. Right? Apply nyo yung theory na nakuha nyo dito sa video lecture ito. I hope class na may natutunan kayo. Bye for now. So see you in the next video lecture, the next chapter, which is the foreign currency exchange rate, I think. So thank you, class. Bye.